Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. JC here with another video on Action Taimanin. This video is to apologize to you because it seems that I have spread misinformation regarding some supporters, specifically now and all the other supporters that proc on buffed enemy activation condition. I didn't know this. I heard a couple people say that this worked on VR, but I should have tested it more. I think I remember that I tested it, and I did see that my Astaroth performed way better with this, but it was thanks to the damage reduction. So some supporters are going to have different activation conditions. And some supporters have one effect that has an activation condition and another effect that doesn't have an activation condition. It's permanent. Now it's like that. The damage increase only works on buff enemies, so that means they need a green icon on top of their head. And the damage reduction that works always. So if you roll for now, following my advice, don't worry, it's still a very good supporter that is gonna be usable for your taunters. It is really great for that, because one supporter that it's very effective, and I don't see it. Let's see, assist is Hisui, which is basically the same effect, just damage reduction against bosses. Now is generic damage reduction, so it's pretty good when you want to do tanky builds. So don't feel guilty if you rolled on this one and you're not getting all the value that you thought. I mean, I did too, and I'm sorry, I should have checked that thoroughly. But I just assumed that was the case, that it was working, because I did see an increase on the performance of my Astaroth when I was using her. So now we are going to watch a video, but the question is which one? We're gonna start with video number 1. On video number 1, I am using who? Wait a moment. I'm just going to show you the build. Yeah, here a little bit. Come on. Yeah. So yeah, this part. My original build was this one. So this doesn't affect the damage nor damage reduction. This affects damage reduction, and this doesn't affect damage nor damage reduction. That's why I'm using this specific build for the first part. Basically, I'm not using now or any other way of damage reduction other than Hisui, and Hisui is going to be consistently there. So that's something to take into consideration. In this video, the first sample, it's 2 runs in this one. The first sample is without now, and the second sample is with now. And I'm testing 2 things: the damage that I received from the spider web attack, and the damage that I'll deal with my basic attacks. So we have some key moments in the video that I'm going to pause, or I'm going to slow down, so that we pay attention to that. I'm going to leave the whole sample running so that you can compare it, check it, mention if I didn't notice something, and give me your thoughts. This video, this came out because I was evaluating the supporters, and I had my doubts with those that deal extra damage or reduce damage against a buffed enemy. So let's see. We still have a little bit of time before the first key point in the video. So yeah, I sincerely apologize because of any inconvenience for rolling. And the reason why I use these 2 is because I wanted to be left alone so that they die, and I was able to do the sample in the most precise way possible, that I didn't get damage from others while I was dealing damage, and it was easier to calculate. So here, yeah, from this point, It says the spider web damage, a little bit less. I'm going to reduce. Here we can see the spider web damage in 1.45, minute 1.45. There. It was 245. And here we can see the damage that I deal. It is between 23k and 32k. So that is the average damage that I deal with my basic attacks using this composition, this build, which only has defense reduction on the part of Hisui. Now, the next build is going to have Anemone substitute by now. And theoretically, it should reduce my damage and also increase my damage. That was the assumption before. But now I know that the damage increase is not working. You need to have the buffed enemy. So, even so, the damage reduction is also not that clear for me. But I think it is permanent. If you can do more samples, test that out, it's better. And the step, as you have seen, is step 11. I mean, it is not the best step to test this thing, but the enemy was buffed on both runs. It has the extra HP, so even though it is a buff, it doesn't count as a buff. Just so that you know. Because I used to use Yanagi Yuna too in my compositions, but it wasn't given anything, which is a shame. We need the twins on challenging content, something like VR, and more enemies that buffs themselves so that we can use this effectively. So yeah, the important moments here are gonna be 548 and 534. So yeah, this video I did it because I was doing the one for the evaluation of all the F2P supporters, which is going to be postponed because I had to test this, and I'm going to need to test other supporters. If there are any supporters that you have doubts with, you can ask me. I wanted to do a frequently asked questions video. And this is probably one of the most frequently asked questions for some people. Do these work? Do these enemies count as buffed? No, they don't count as buff. They don't activate Yanagi Yuna. They don't activate Homare. Now I thought they did, but they don't, which is a shame. But it is what it is, and Homare now is still good. Or at least I think it is. If my if my research is correct, if this video is showing us that in fact there is damage reduction on Homare now. I mean, I know that there is variations to the damage depending on multiple factors, but it should be around a set amount. Let's see. And the problem is that I cannot test it on the facility. Well, the training mode. We're about to arrive to that point. It's from 527 that we see. Wait a moment. I'm going to reduce. Here we are checking the damage on basic attacks on now. So look at that damage. Oddly enough, it was like even lower with now, but then it started to go up and it was what it's supposed to be. 30, 32. It's critting, but 23, 24, 23. Okay. So it is kind of the same. And then a little bit further, here we're gonna receive damage, and you're gonna see that this damage is like 195. You saw that? 195. So yeah, it is lower than the damage I was receiving before equipping now. So I guess she's working. I mean, the numbers are very low. But that's not the only test that I have. So let's go with the next one. Video 2. For video 2, I equipped Dark Sun Astaroth. I'm sorry I didn't put Dark Sun Astaroth. But I'm not using her for the damage reduction. I didn't test that. But if you see it, you can comment on it. But what I'm doing here is that I'm checking the damage. And it's on minute 2.46. And the damage is increased compared to both of the previous samples. The damage is increased. Astaroth. Wait a moment. I'm going to stop it. Here. Inventory, supporters, Astaroth. Astaroth gives damage on suppressed type characters, and I was testing it on Astaroth, which is a suppressed type character, and now supposedly gives more damage. So if it was active, the effect on now, it would have dealt more damage than with Anemone, and it would have dealt even more damage than with Astaroth, Dark Sun Astaroth. But it didn't. Astaroth was the one that Astaroth Dark Sun was the one that dealt the most damage. So yeah, that supporter is now is not proccing, unfortunately. If there are other common questions that you have about the game that are not like guides but doubts about the specific synergies, supporters, or such, please ask me. I do want to make frequently asked question videos, as I said, to help you out, because I also have those questions. I am only human. I don't know all the answers in the game. So let's see. Wait a moment. We're almost there. 246. In minute 2 and second 46, we're going to see the damage on Astaroth without the others. 46. So it should be around here. No, it's 2. It's 246. It's 246, not 146. So yeah, I just let the Queen Arachne defeat everyone else, so that I could take a clean sample of the damage and such. And I also, on other of the videos, I focused the spiders so that I could take a clean sample of the damage reduction that I would have in defensive builds. So yeah, 40, 39, 42, 42, 30, 31, 32, 30, 30. As you can see, the base damage is higher here on the basic attacks. So it is pretty clear that it is not working now. Very unfortunate. At least on the damage department. But for what we saw in the first video, we can assume that she is working on the defensive part on the defensive side of things. And I do think that's the case because, as I mentioned, I saw a very clear difference in the performance of my Astaroth when I started using now. Let's go with number 3. Number 3 is going to be... what is this? Basic attack damage with Yanagi. So here I'm gonna receive 2 kinds of attacks in this video. The basic attacks of the Queen Spider and the slash spear of the Queen Spider. And I'm using Yanagi. Yanagi is like now, but defensive. She gives... wait a moment. I'm gonna show you here. Where are you, Yanagi? Okay, I'm gonna go green. Yanagi Yuna, here. Reduces damage taken by 40% from enemies with buffs. So, she's not gonna do anything, basically. if now wasn't activating, Yanagi shouldn't be activating either on this condition that we are here on a stage, and we can see that clearly the enemy has buffs. I focused the spiders first so that I wasn't getting attacked by other things, and the samples on the damage that I was receiving were clear. So that did 1,800. Let's see. The first one says that it's on 120, the basic attacks. So, but even so, you can compare all the damage that I received, so that you have a clear idea. Okay, that was the spear. I'm gonna put the spear once again. So 1085, as you can see. Let's see. I say 1085, but that wasn't the number. But you saw the number, and that was, yeah. One more time, the basics. Okay, 1,700, 1,700 more or less. Those are the basics, and all the samples. There's one sample that doesn't have the boss damage increase, but I took another one with the boss damage increase on the same conditions that I did that one. 40, no, 215, minute 215. And as you can see, the parry really helps out. Those reduce the damage. The counters and parries do reduce the damage. So use them if you want. Those skills are pretty useful. So it should be around here. So here Queen Arachne is going to use the 1,790 damage. Yeah, let's go back to the video. And the idea was to test the damage, so I didn't finish that. That was, now I'm testing it on step 50 because I'm with a tanky character, so obviously that's gonna influence the run. Let's see. The next one, this was video 3, let's go with video 4. Video 4, my note says that I am using now, and if I'm not mistaken, I did show that I had equipped now, but at the very end. So again, I have weak characters so that they are not in the way. I focus the small spiders so that they are out of the way. And again, this stage also has damage increase for boss, as you can see on the icons. And if you don't know, when I pause the game to just escape the run, you can see the effects. So 30, oops. So on 37 here I receive what exactly? The slash. It says that I received the slash. So let's see the damage with Homare now. I'm getting 1,684. So it's definitely lower, but I know that it's not like super low. But I'm using a tanky build, so we can see that it's dealing a little bit less damage. 1,763. Well, that was big. Maybe it doesn't work. I'm not sure, guys. I'm doubting everything now. And on 120, we're gonna see the basic attacks. Another one. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe it doesn't work either. Which would be very weird because my performance on Astaroth, I felt like it really changed. Let's see. No, wait a moment. One. It says here that I received basic attacks. Let's go with that. Here. No. That was a crit, which oddly enough the crit is like even weaker. I don't know why. So it should be... I think I made a mistake on the timing there. So let's continue. Maybe I wrote there, those 1857. Those were the basics that I was talking about. Yeah. And you can see here that I'm using Yanagi Yuna. No, Homare now. And I changed Homare now. I dwell on it like a little bit. I'm going to accelerate that. But at the very end, I decided to go with Kirara, Green Kirara, who is going to give me almost 20% damage reduction. It's 18 actually, but it is like half the damage reduction that Homare Nows give me. But it always works. It's always active. So that's the difference. Let's see. So yeah, I dwell on it even more. I think I want to use other colors, but there you go. You saw that. I decided to use Kirara. So yeah, I use potions, and let's go back to the samples. So yeah, again, if you notice something that I am not, please do leave that in the comments, because I really want to have as much information as possible, because this shouldn't be something that I should be testing on. Any player should be testing. Grimoire should be very clear on what is a buff, what is a debuff, what are the activation conditions, what are the percentages. For example, we shouldn't need to test how Pierce works. I mean, we already have a little bit of clarity on what the effect does, but it's not like super clear. Wait a moment. I don't know. No, on this one I didn't take notes. So yeah, we shouldn't test all of that. For example, it says that Pierce has a chance to ignore the damage reduction and defense of the enemies. But what does ignore mean? Ignore means that you're not going to take into consideration that you're going to pierce through a certain percentage of that defense or damage reduction, and the percentage on your penetration is the chance that you have, or is the amount that you're going to pierce. So yeah, we shouldn't be asking this, Grimoire. Please be super clear. I mean, Grimoire has done a good work, because they have listened to some of the things that we have said. Not all of them, but some of them. For example, we have doubts about which attacks were ranged and which attacks were not ranged. And they did put the icons on the skills. Nowadays, it's very easy to understand that. There are some exceptions. For example, if it doesn't deal damage, it doesn't have an icon. If it's a familiar attack, it doesn't have an icon. We also need icons for that, Grimoire. Do think of updating the icons. So yeah, as you can see, that was kind of the damage that I received with Kirara. But at the very end, we can see that it doesn't have the boss icon. So I did another sample on that exact same build, trying to fish that effect on the boss, so that it dealt a similar amount of damage. The rest of that video wasn't like super optimal, because we didn't have the same amount of damage coming from the boss. So here This is video 5. On video 5, minute 1.25 and 2.31. Uh-huh. Let's see. A minute or so. So yeah, Gremory, do make things clear and do add more content where we can actually proc those activation conditions that you put or effects that you implement in the game. The reduction, for example, for Anemone on HP recovery is good on PvP, but that's about it. And I, that I'm not a PvP enthusiast, doesn't use that effect. I want that also on PvE. Let's see. So in 5 seconds, we're gonna receive damage from basic attacks. Yeah, this is with Kirara. And as you can see, there's a damage reduction there. And then we're gonna wait like a whole minute to check the other instance of damage reduction, but that on the spear slash, which I could have taken there, but I didn't. Yeah, more instances of normal damage. So now I have even more doubts that I had at the beginning. I don't know if now it's actually good or not. But help me out here, guys. What do you see in this video? Do you see that it actually does the damage reduction? Does she not? I mean, the numbers are pretty good. I always knew that effect was going to be useful, but and I expected Gremory to give us more enemies. Wait, here I'm going to slow it down. There, you saw the damage. So I really expected Gremory to make. It seems that doesn't work either. I'm checking the numbers, and Kirara's reduction, which is lower in number than now, is giving me less damage. And this also has the boss damage up. So I guess both effects of now don't work on VR. I don't get it. Then why did I start to perform better with when I was using Astaroth with now? I don't know anything anymore, guys. I'm really confused. But as I mentioned, the twins are one of the easiest ways to take advantage of Homare now if you want to use it. If you have troubles with the twins, then it's you get damage increase and damage reduction against them. And why didn't I test this on the training facility? Well, there's a reason for that. Because the training facility, it is a nice first step, but we still need like a bunch of menus. I need to select the specific enemy. I need to select if they are buffed or not. I need to select how much damage they deal, because with just that I cannot see clearly the damage. It was making 1 damage, and if I equip now, it's still going to make 1 damage. So it is not working as it should. I mean, it does work. You can test some things, yes, but it is not like a super testing facility where you can test every single aspect of the game, as you can see. Damage 1 against damage 1. Oh, well, I can clearly see that damage reduction working. So yeah, that's why I didn't use that. So I am really sorry for those of you who roll on Homare now. I really endorse rolling for her, and I thought it was useful, and I guess I deceived myself into believing she was good. I don't know anymore, guys. I'm really sorry, and I hope that we can take advantage of this supporter in the future. This boyo is not helping us right now, or are they? Is he? Tell me in the comments. What did you see on the video? What do you take from these samples? Does it actually work? Are I omitting something? I'm gonna be doing more videos on all the news that we got because we finally got the the online magazine, and there's a bunch of news. But after I do that and after I talk about some other things, I will do the evaluation on those F2P supporters that some of you may want, so that you know where you want to use your materials to enchant those F2P supporters. So yeah, that's about it for today, and I'll be seeing you next time. Bye!